Hello, and welcome to Brand Clarity by Visions2images, where we focus on strategy and business development for entrepreneurs at all different levels through branding and digital marketing techniques. Susie Liberatore is the founder and art director of Visions2images Creative Services, LLC. For the last decade, she has personally been instrumental in bridging gaps between the global digital market and neighborhood locations for some of the biggest brands around. Growth is possible for even a single location with the right professional branding techniques and Susie's signature strategies of Visions2images. Stand out from your competitors and bring your visions to life while watching your sales skyrocket. Your host for this is Susie Liberatore, owner of Visions2images. Hello, everybody. I'm super excited for another podcast episode. Before I get started, I kind of want to talk to you guys about franchise marketing and why we've really niched down into this area. Over the years, I have really been working with a lot of franchises, and it seems like a no-brainer to really niche down. However, even before that, my experience has led me here, right? So when I first started my journey in this creative field, I started working at a startup agency, and I loved every little piece of it. I loved the fast-going pace. I loved the creativity. I loved all of the different unique customers. Even though we were niched down into the healthcare industry of dental offices, we really were able to kind of create something different and unique for each and every person. So I loved being able to do that. And we kind of had, different people in the healthcare industry besides dentists. So it was really interesting and amazing to have that capability and creativity. When I moved to Ohio about 5-6 years ago, I took a corporate job and I was still freelancing on the side. And you know how that goes, right? You're trying to manage life. You're trying to manage a kid. You're trying to manage working and freelancing on the side. It's crazy. My son was about 1 year old when we moved here. Gosh, he's already 6 now. Kills me every day to see that he's growing up, but I'm amazed and happy and proud. But the fact of the matter is, when I worked in corporate, there were so many opportunities that were being missed. And I saw so much happening in front of my eyes that I kind of sat like a fly on the wall and took it all in a sense where I really looked at the agency world and I really looked at the corporate world. And I figured, how can we really combine these two? Because there's so much happening that needs to really blossom, right? So many times when people are in franchises or large corporations, so to speak, they think they can't be creative. They think they're tied in to these corporate guidelines and they don't know how to break these corporate guidelines. They don't know what to do. There's so much, or they can't get that local presence, right? Oh, I have corporate sending out emails and all these other things, but I'm missing my local presence. How do I build that, right? So that's kind of where I really started to dive in and developed the branding bridge. And I'm going to be developing so much more in the coming months and years, this really franchise marketing. And so today I had a question kind of come in. Why does a franchise need to hire a consultant, right? So there's plenty of ways to work with myself or Visions2images in a sense of, we can do the work for you. So we can do social media content, graphics, we can do the branding, we can do all of the work for you, or you can hire us to basically be a consultant. And being a consultant is something fun, unique, and different in a sense, because I can watch the ideas still come to life that I have in my mind, but somebody else is doing it. So it's really exciting to see that. And eventually there's going to be other opportunities, such as courses and other items that are going to be really targeted towards franchises. And that's in the coming years. So I wanted to give you that background insight first and foremost, because I feel like we really haven't formally announced this franchise marketing that we're targeting. And a lot of people keep asking me about it. And I'm super excited because when people are asking about it, that means our marketing is working. Duh. So I'm excited. So now, why should a franchise hire a consultant for their marketing? There are several different reasons as to why. The first one is the expertise, right? So we have that niche. We have that creativity. We are always investing in all of the marketing trends, all of the trends, period. We're always learning and growing and evolving, and we know what works and we know what doesn't work. So we have that expertise where sometimes people spend hours upon hours saying, oh, I want to listen to this podcast about social media. Oh, I need to implement it. And then weeks and months and years go by and they still haven't implemented it, right? So we have all that expertise and we take pride in that expertise to really help businesses get to where they need to be, regardless of where they are. So that's one of the reasons. The next part is cost savings. This is one of the best
kind of benefits, right? Like you don't have to hire an employee. You don't have to pay us workers' comp. You don't have to pay health insurance. You don't need to do 401k, right? There's so many benefits to that. You don't have to pay all those extra fees. And furthermore, you pay usually on a retainer or hourly basis, right? So you kind of can budget and know what to expect within that time, within all of those items.
Hey there, I want to interrupt this episode with a quick message. If you're listening to this podcast episode and want to learn about branding your franchise or small business, then go to brandingbridge.com. That's branding-bridge.com.
The third one, which I totally love, is creativity. So a lot of times when, a consultant comes in, they see it from the outside looking in. We don't know what goes in internally necessarily as far as a marketing team goes. They can share their insights with us, but we see things very differently from somebody as an insider. And it's not good or bad or different, right? And we have these ways to really kind of look from the outside, look in the inside, and combine it all together to really utilize everything together in the best bang for your buck. So it's one of those things where we're that creative mind and we bring in that insight, right? Maybe sometimes you think you know what you have to do, but you're doubting yourself or your team, or you don't know how to implement it, right? So that's why hiring a consultant is perfect, because of those creativity skills that we can say, okay, well, here's what can work. Let's try this. If it doesn't work in a week, let's kind of back away and try this other option. So it's really kind of giving that guidance. No matter where you're at in your business, you should always have some type of mentor, coach, or consultant, because it's so hard internally in a business to really develop those things, right? Like if we are constantly inside of our head and saying, oh, I think that I should do this, but I don't know how to do it, and we don't ask for help or we don't execute it, then it's wasted time, space, money, energy, all of the above, right? So we really want to make sure that we have that guidance and support so that our businesses can grow no matter where they are. And so the fourth reason why you should hire a consultant for your marketing and your franchises is just because of the fact that we create those action steps, right? So many times people can get stuck. They can get stuck in their own ways. They don't know how to do it, what to do, etc. It goes back to number 3, right? Like we don't know how to execute it. We don't know what we need to do. We can put together a plan for you that is very specific and geared towards your goals based on our expertise, right? So you can get all of that you need so you can fully execute on your own and be successful. And even if you still need guidance along the way, you can still absolutely have a consultant there to help you and support you. So there's many, many, many reasons as to why you should hire a consultant for your marketing if you don't have somebody doing it for you. If you have somebody doing it for you, you might not need the consulting. However, sometimes people have internal marketing people and they still need that consulting. So there's a ton of different variables as to how to execute and how to really decide what you need best. And that goes without saying, if you aren't sure where you are, if you aren't sure if you need a consultant, if you need somebody to do it for you, if you aren't really sure, the first step that I kind of want to tell you is just think about where you're at, write down your goals, write down how to really execute them. And if you get stuck along the way for your marketing goals, how do we get there, right? Then it starts to open up a can of worms. Do I need to outsource? Do I need somebody internally to connect with a consultant? So once you kind of can identify those things, where are you getting stuck? Are you getting stuck at the implementation where you don't want to do your social media? Are you getting stuck with content? Are you getting stuck with colors and fonts? Like, where are you getting stuck is the first and most important thing to really identify anything before you even do your marketing so that you can fully be successful and your marketing can work for you. So I hope this was helpful for you. And each week I'm going to be bringing on either guests in the expertise field of franchise marketing or in the entrepreneur world, or I'm going to be talking about franchise marketing. But keep in mind that anything that I talk about with franchise marketing can be implemented for any business. We're just targeting different things this year. And so we're really excited about this growth and new opportunities. So if you have any questions, absolutely feel free to fill out the form on my website.
Thank you, everybody, for listening in on today's Brand Clarity episode with Susie Liberatore. 2 things. First and foremost, please, if you liked this episode, please subscribe and leave some positive reviews. Also, don't forget to sign up for Stop Sending Your Customers to the Competition and get my insider secrets to compelling branding that converts. You can find that at branding-bridge.com. It's a free workbook for you to check out right now, all of the branding techniques and strategies that I use for my paying clients.